Today we're going to be learning about functions. First of all, what is a function? A function is a relation between a set of inputs and a set of permissible outputs with the property that each input is related to exactly one output. For today's example, we're going to use f of x is equal to 3x squared plus x minus 2. We're going to have to find f of x is equal to 0, f of x is equal to x, f of x is equal to negative 2, f of x is greater than 0, f of x is greater than x, and finally f of x is less than negative 2. So for A, we have to find f of x is equal to 0. Our equation is 3x squared plus x minus 2 is equal to f of x. As you can see, we have f of x here. So we are going to make all this equation equal to 0. So it's going to be 0 is equal to 3x squared plus x minus 2. Now, as you can see, we could factor out this equation and it will end up being 0 is equal to 3x minus 2 x plus 1. You could make both of these equations equal to 0, which will give you 3x minus 2 is equal to 0 and x plus 1 is equal to 0. You will automatically move the 2 over here. So we'll have 3x is equal to positive 2. Automatically divide the 3 and you will get x is equal to 2 over 3. Same thing with this equation. Subtract 1 by both sides and you will get x is equal to negative 1. And that's your answer for letter A. Now, letter B. F of x is equal to x. In our equation, which is f of x is equal to 3x squared plus x minus 2. So f of x is equal to x, which we will apply this into here. So it would be x is equal to 3x squared plus x minus 2. Automatically, when you move the x to this side, it will cancel out with this x. So you will have 0 is equal to 3x squared minus 2. Now you will move the 2 to this side and you will add it. 2 is equal to 3x squared. Now you will divide 3 by both sides and you will have x squared is equal to 2 thirds. Now, you will have x is equal to radical 2/3. That's your answer for B. Now, letter C. F of x is greater than 0. You're not supposed to record me, stupid. It's equal to negative 2. Okay. Now, the equation is f of x is equal to 3x squared plus x minus 2. So you will apply this into right here. So it will be negative 2 is equal to 3x squared plus x minus 2. Now remember what we did here? We moved it here so the 2x canceled. So the same thing, we're going to do it here. Automatically, when we move the negative 2, these two will cancel. So you will be left with 0 is equal to 3x squared plus x. So you could factor it out and you will have x in parentheses 3x plus 1. And you will have x is equal to 0 or 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. And you just move the 1 here. You will have 3x is equal to negative 1 divided by 3. X is equal to negative 1/3. And this is your answer for letter C. Letter D. F of x is greater than 0. Our equation, f of x is equal to 3x squared plus x minus 2. You will apply this into here and you will have 3x squared plus x minus 2 is greater than 0. So then, here you will have to draw a graph and solve for this one. Letter D will be the same as letter A. You will make the equation equal to 0. So the same equation you solved here, you will solve it here, which you will have x is equal to 2/3 and you will graph it over here, and x is equal to negative 1, which will be over here. So you will have a parabola, a ghetto parabola.
That's an ugly parabola.
Yes. Now for letter E, you will have f of x is greater than x. So you're going to have to apply it to the equation. So apply this into this. So you will have 3x squared minus 2. 3x squared plus x minus 2 is greater than x. What you did in E will be exactly what you did in letter B to solve it. So it will be 3x squared minus 2 is equal to 0. X, 3x squared is equal to positive 2. Divide both sides by 3 and you will have x squared is equal to 2/3. Now you square both of them and you will have x is equal to radical 2/3. You will do a parabola here too. And you will end up with x is greater than radical 2/3. As you can see in letter B, you did the same math you did here. So then, these two, the parabola, and these points are undefined. Now the last one, letter F. F of x is less than -2. For this one, you will have to draw a graph too. Sorry for my straight graph. And you will have the same equation. 3x squared plus x minus 2 is less than -2. Here, on letter F, you will do the same thing you did for letter C. The same math. So I don't think I have to go through that again because we already did it for letter C. So you're going to end up with x is equal to 0 and x is equal to -1/3. So therefore you graph it and you're going to have -1/3 and 0. Therefore, it will be -1/3 is greater than x, but less than 0. And that ends our math session. Yay!